Good morning, Wisconsin Patriots! As Brian said, my name is Luke Hilgemann, and I am so pleased and so honored to be the State Director of Americans for Prosperity. How many AFPers do we have out here today? Show your hands. Why isn't everybody's hand up? We're fighting for freedom, folks, and we need you. We have 118,000 intrepid activists all across this state, and let me tell you, they're hearing us all the way in Washington. Yeah. And it's my pleasure to announce, and I love doing this at every event I have the privilege to speak at, that AFP now outnumbers WEAC and AFSCME in the number of members that we have. And that leads me to my speech today. It's up to the grassroots now. That's the thought that crossed my mind when I saw that horrible ruling come out of our Supreme Court, that the president's health care law would stand. It's up to the grassroots now. But despite that horrible ruling, I think we should give them a big thank you, because we now know the truth that Barack Obama and Tammy Baldwin refused to acknowledge. That the president's health care law is the largest tax increase to ever be pushed upon the citizens of this great country. And it's up to us to stand up and say, we are not going to stand for it. We are going to push for full repeal. We are going to demand better from our politicians in Washington. Now, I mentioned her name already once, but she likes to stay low on this issue, unless she's jumping around on a stage with a bunch of protesters in Madison. But Tammy Baldwin is one of the strongest advocates for this horrible policy. She actually stood up in Washington and said, it didn't go far enough. Are you kidding me? It didn't go far enough to put bureaucrats in control of our healthcare decisions? To put bureaucrats between us and our doctors? Tammy Baldwin is completely wrong on this issue, and we need to tell her that. She believes that here in Wisconsin that we've forgotten the lessons that we've learned over the past year, and that somehow we're going to just change our minds and approve of her record. She believes that the grassroots here in Wisconsin will forget about what they fought for, and will give her a pass. But the truth is that both Baldwin and President Obama have failed to recognize the movement that's grown up here, is gaining steam here, and is moving all across this great United States of America. Yeah, right. Yeah. Folks here in the Dairy State, we've seen what is possible when elected officials are honest, straightforward, and willing to do what they say they will do. You see, that's the Wisconsin way. Making a promise and sticking to it, no matter how loud the other side whines or bangs on their drums. We do what's right here in Wisconsin because we are in control. And the differences between Washington and Wisconsin couldn't be more clear. Wisconsin saw how it's possible to make the tough decisions that eliminate deficits without raising taxes, create prosperity and opportunity without cronyism, and deliver results, not rhetoric, to struggling taxpayers. Unfortunately, our leaders in Washington, they believe the opposite, right? They believe that the government can force us to buy a product or a good or a service and be subject to the whims of the IRS if we don't. They believe that higher taxes are the way out of a crippling national deficit. And they believe that the same people that run the post office, the DMV, the DNR, and the EPA have done a good enough job to now run our healthcare system. That's right. From Solyndra to the stimulus, President Obama and Tammy Baldwin's vision for America has been one of big government and big spending, and of crony capitalism, where politicians pick who wins in the marketplace not based on who produces the best product or provides the best service, but on who cuts the biggest check to their campaign coffers. We've had enough of this. It's time for a new direction. And from Keystone to cap and trade, the Obama administration has shown a greater desire to appease the farthest fringes of the environmental movement than helping create responsible energy policies in America that not only drive down our dependence on foreign energy, but also create tens of thousands of jobs for generations of Americans. and with our national debt now standing at $16 trillion, growing by an astounding $3.3 billion per day, or roughly $30 per day for every household in America. The president's spending spree is stealing opportunity from generations of Americans who haven't even been born yet. We can't stand for it any longer. And if you're like me, you probably ask, well, what is this guy thinking? Make no mistake about it, President Obama knows exactly what he's doing when he passes these policies. Because he believes that his policies are the right one for America, and that government is the right answer no matter when, no matter where, no matter how much. Because in his view, right, you didn't build that, government did. Can you believe that? The President of the United States saying each and every one of the small business owners out here in this great country who built America, you're not in charge of that. That somehow the government did that for you. It's unbelievable. But knowing this facts is not enough, my friends. And that's why it's up to us. It's up to our grassroots freedom fighters here in the state of Wisconsin and across this country to take up arms and to go out and spread the message, neighbor to neighbor, citizen to citizen. That's why at AFP we've invested in our field plan. We have 7 full-time freedom fighters working day and night, going around and educating citizens on the true impacts of these horrible policies. We have a bunch of them running around in the audience today. Please welcome them. Say hi. We're here to help you guys. We want to organize, we want to educate, we want to grow our movement. So with that, I'll leave you with one last line. You know, despite all of the things that I've talked about today, the failures in Washington, I still believe in America. I believe that the passion for freedom that helped make this the greatest country in the world still burns in the hearts of everyday Americans. So God bless you, God bless America, and may we continue to pursue life, liberty, and happiness. Thank you.